Survival shelters really vary from super simple to super complex. Today what I want to talk about is a very simple lean-to style survival shelter that requires very few pieces, and if you can tie a shoelace knot, then you can set up this shelter. So stay tuned and we'll get started. For this simple lean-to style shelter, we need just a few components. We need 2 hanks of cordage, approximately 30 feet. They can be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, but approximately 30 works out perfect. Next, we need some type of tarp. Here, I have just a space tarp with a reflective side on one side, blue on the other. You can also go with orange if you're looking for something more high visibility, but blue also works really well for that. I also like to carry 2 to 3 tent pegs and just some small pieces of cordage for some tie out points. So I'm going to get down on the ground now. I'm going to open this up and show you guys exactly how to prep your tarp for an emergency shelter. What we want to do with our shelter to set up our main lines is take our main piece of cordage, again 15, 20, 30 feet. I prefer a longer length of cordage, so 30 feet. We take the center point of that and the ends run out. We basically put that through our grommet, very simple like that, and then feed the rest of this line through and then just pull it taut. That's all we're doing. So that's super simple. We want to do this on each side. Of course, the length is running across the front here, and then the shorter side is going back to where we're going to stake it out. So we just want to do this across the length. 2 pieces of cordage on each side. So on the back side, again, the length, one side we have our longer cordage. The back side, I just took 2 small hanks of bank line. You can use paracord for this also. I'm just putting it through the grommet. I'm putting the 2 pieces together, just like this, and I'm just gonna tie them over, just with an overhand knot like that, okay? It's super, super simple stuff, guys. If you want, go ahead and put one of these on each corner, even the grommets that have our main ridge lines, because for more advanced shelters, we're gonna talk a little bit about having these on each corner and what that allows us to do further beyond just a lean-to. Now that our tarp is prepped for emergency shelter, I'm going to show you guys step by step how easy it is to set the shelter up. First thing, of course, we want to keep our tent pegs somewhere close. I always just stick them in my back pocket or stick them in a pocket rather than throwing them on the ground. Next thing, before we pick a shelter site, we want to look around. We want to make sure there's no deadfall or widowmakers. There are trees that can fall on us and injure us throughout the course of our stay at a location, and we also want to look at what direction the wind's blowing. We don't want the wind blowing into our shelter. We want the brunt force of that wind blowing into the back of our shelter to protect us more. Let the shelter do the work it's intended for. So basically, for this shelter, all that we need to do is open it up, and we're going to take one side of the strings close to the tree. It doesn't have to be super tight. We're going to wrap them around one time, and on the back side of the tree we're going to tie a shoelace knot, a bow tie. So it's super easy. Everybody knows how to do this because we tie our shoes every single day. We're going to go to our next side. We're going to bring our strings back, pull our tension, wrap it around one time, and then again tie our shoelace knot, our bow tie. We can then take our 2 tent pegs onto our loops that we already established earlier and stake those out. Readjust our stake if needed, and we have ourselves a super quick, easy shelter to set up. The beauty of this shelter is that it requires very minimal knowledge around tying knots. Everybody knows how to tie their shoelaces, and if you can tie a shoelace, you can tie the shelter up. It's super quick, it's super easy, it's super efficient. This was Dan Wowack with Coalcracker Bushcraft. Thanks for watching this video. Check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all our upcoming classes, info, and blog. Thanks, guys.